Welcome back, everyone. And I'm still here with my pretty cruddy drawings. And now, if you're watching this video, you're like, wait, ants? Why would you make a video on ants? Well, I'm actually doing a series of, the family that includes ants, wasps. I might do a hornet video. They're technically a genus of the wasps, which aren't really too solid of it. It's really anything that isn't a bee or an ant. But I'm just going to kind of group them into one. Anyway, I will go over this. Okay, I'll just kind of talk about the kinds of ants. That's the kinds of ants in a one. The kinds of ants, and if you're wondering what, I mean the jobs. The life cycle. Well, I'll shortly talk about it and other stuff. So, where do we go first? Okay, now time to talk about the groups of ants. There's four main ones, and one it doesn't really apply for all species, but still. First, we have the queen. Only job to produce eggs. And all ant species and all kinds of wasps, bees, and termites that live in a group, so most of them, have a queen. The queens usually have a very large abdomen, and usually don't move that much unless they're mating. And next are the drones, the dudes. I'm pretty sure occasionally a worker or a soldier, which is a bit of a spoiler for the next part, might be a male, but otherwise the drones are just all the dudes. They mate with the queen after only a day, and then an hour later they just die. It's sad. Okay, next is the one that some species don't have, but some do. Soldier ants. That's Now these guys are usually a variation on the worker. They usually have big jaws to defend from hornets or parasites. And bigger animals, and they usually stay most of the time out of the hive. And normal workers will do this too. Now, next, the worker. Pretty much average ant. They gather the food, they tend to the young, they defend the colony in most species. Now, with the leafcutter ant, there is a small variation where there is this even smaller version of the worker that crawls upon leaves to make sure the bigger workers don't crawl around the bigger workers to make sure they don't get a parasite. I will talk about them in my top 10 ant species I know of. Okay, what are their eating habits? Everything. Gosh darn it, they will eat anything that's natural. They wouldn't eat rocks. I think there might be one of those, I'm not sure. Gosh darn it, I have to talk about a lot of the ants here. Okay, let's start with a few. These ones are going to knock off the list for top 10 ant species. Is just because I don't want to talk about them more. So, for example, the Amazon ant. It's an ant that lives in the Amazon. It can't gather its own food. So, this is what it does. And this is really smart, I think. Kind of bullying, but still. They bully other ant species into giving them food. That's what they do. That's just incredible. And then there's this one species that actually herds caterpillars so they can eat their dung. And then there's this one and the leafcutter ant. I said it would be in the list. Sorry. It cuts leaves and carries them to the nest and puts it in a fungus that they eat. That's incredible. And there's millions of examples I can do. It's just okay. At number 10, army ants. Now these are indigenous to South America and are one of the species of ants that have soldiers, which are a division, like I said, a division on the worker ant. And they are also famous for being nomads. That's like during the rainy season in the Amazon, they will connect to each other and form a massive raft, which is quite fascinating to me. Okay, number 9, the weaver ant. Okay, the weaver ant actually is similar to the leafcutter ant, but they use their leaves to weave into structures, and they're held together by a pupal silk, which I think is very impressive. Good job. Okay, number 8, the bullet ant. Okay, now when I think of it, it kind of reminds me of a Yu-Gi-Oh card, but still. I don't have as much information, but it is one of the highest on the pain index of insects in the world. It's probably the highest ant. And if you want to find out more about how to paint stuff, go to Brave Wilderness, the Brave Wilderness YouTube channel. They are a very entertaining YouTube channel. Okay, up next is the pharaoh ant. This one is a ginormous pest, so I just wanted to mention it. And even they have a whole business dedicated in my hometown of Tampa just to destroy these pests. That's just telling how bad they are. And honestly, they look super weird. I don't know too much else about it. You should do your own research. If I'm not fully clear, just do your own research, please. Okay, up next is the red ant. Now, you might be saying, especially if you live in Florida like me, you must be saying, what, a red ant? Dude, I've been stung. If you're also like me, you've been stung by a red ant several times. I've been stung by this kind of red ant, this average red ant, a couple of times, but they're also actually good for the environment. They spread seeds. Also, I think they kind of look cool. And I've been stung so many times. They're often mistaken for fire ants, and they do hurt. I've been bitten by both fire ants and red ants, so yeah. Okay, if you're probably thinking, Hank, you are just making this up now. Army ants, weaver ants, bullet ants, pharaoh ants, red ants, now carpenter ants. Now this is an actual species. They are similar to termites that they do bite and destroy wood, but they don't eat it. They actually make kind of like a sawdust, so I don't know why they're called sawdust ants. And they also herd aphids. It's to get their butt liquid. Weird. It's also similar to the caterpillar. thing. Just wanted to say that they're cool. Also, bad drawing, I know. Yeah. Okay, the Saharan silver ant is the fastest ant in the world. Now, it can go 855 miles per hour. I'm at 855 millimeters per hour. And you might be saying, what? That's not very fast. But hear me out. That's just because it's tiny. But if you enlarged it, it would probably be the fastest animal on Earth. And you know why? Because the Sahara is burning. It's just like an inferno. So it has to move fast to be able not to get just to not be burnt, cooked into oblivion. This insect's cool, and I do not know much about it. I think there's some documentaries that you could probably find about it. Okay, number 3, the mystery ant. I don't want to say its scientific name because that would be very long and also harder to say. And you must be thinking, is this a cheap excuse? I'm actually kind of interested in this one. In 2016, scientists found this ant in the gut of a frog, but we don't know anything about it. Or from the website, so I still don't think we know anything really truly about it. We just know that it has a very sharp scissor-like mandibles. Which scientists guess that hypothesize that they are for catching prey. I'm guessing they do something kind of like the antlion. Or just like maybe they kind of like make an antlion trap where they just chase, where the workers chase insects into the queen, and then they just eat vegetarian stuff, or just grab it. I'm just guessing. Okay, the Asian needle ant is a ant that came from Asia. UK entomologists theorize it might hurt northern parts of Kentucky. They aren't aggressive, but they do kill other ants and termites. Okay, the termite part is good for us humans, but not the ant part. Because some ants are vital to the environment, like carpenter ants. Wait, not carpenter ants, sorry, I meant red ants. Carpenter ants probably hurt the environment more. So watch out for these guys. Scientists say that their sting hurts like a burning needle. Okay, and my number 1 ant is the imported fire ant. What? You might be asking. Well, it also has a common name, the volcano ants. And if any of you are Braver Wilderness fans, and if you're not, you go to his channel now. The imported fire ant is also known as a volcano ant. Why is this? It's a heck of a lot worse than the normal fire ant sting. I've never been stung myself, but watch the video. Anyway, these things are tiny, and like an individual sting won't hurt too much. But the thing is, in their these giant lumps of dirt, if you push them over, then there'll just be a gush of millions of ants coming out. So watch out for them. And then it gives you, just search up Coyote Peterson volcano ants, then bam. And the stings look like they have a massive case of acne. God.